You voted it, so here it is, the samurai. First of all, there will be some mistakes or at least misspellings of the samurai spells. I'm sorry, I can't remember them properly. I have just opened up a list for myself to, tell you the right name. Hopefully it will be the right one, so please, I'm sorry about that. And of course, like always, I'm trying to do this as fluent as possible, and I'm still trying to improve on this department, so thank you for being so patient with my English, and let's start into the samurai. First of all, the gear that I use inside of this video is actually pure trash, because either you go for very high skill speed values or very, very, very low skill speed values, maybe close to the least amount that you can get there. But due to the fact that I'm just going in with Exarchic gear that is highly pentamelded, I think there's no other way to just take things how they turn out to be. But maybe if you're really concerned about gearing, check out the highest ranked samurais and how they have geared up and all that. I think that is the best way to look at those gearing matters especially. Okay, when going into that opener rotation, of course after using Hakase, the biggest point is to directly use your Ikishoten ability. That will increase your Kanki gauge by 50 at the time you're doing it, and this will allow you and open up space for the mighty Hisatsu Sine, which is your off-global cooldown ability that you're using for pushing out some Kanki gauge, and that is always favorable and stronger over your normal Hisatsu Shinten that you use for spending overpowered or too much Kanki that you don't need for improving your Midare or anything like that, or Hisatsu Kaiten. I think it's Kaiten. That's the right one. Hisatsu Kaiten, with which you can boost your next weapon skill attack, and that you should always boost for your Midare combos. So Midare combos, for those that don't know, but I highly recommend to check out any of my guides or visit the balance or look up any written guide or check out Wesk Alba's guide. They're also phenomenal. So look up any guide where things are getting explained, where spells and skills are getting explained, because that is really important for you. And like always, check out your spellbook, your tooltips. They are really helpful and will get the thing done before even starting the fight. Okay, after that, after starting with Ikishoten that will increase your Kanki gauge, our goal is to start our buffing combos that are also generating the Sen coin you want by unlocking the next skill attack or combo attack in that order. So I really want to emphasize on the part that you have to make a good hotkey management. In my case, I'm always kinda trying to get this convincing feel of the left attack, or the left one on my mouse here that is being displayed on my mouse, is also the left Sen coin you get for this. The middle one is Yukikase, which is not any position requirement, depending and stuff. That is, of course, the center Sen coin, and the right one, which is Kasha, that is the right Sen coin. And the goal now, which is kind of the standard modified Midare, double Midare opener, which is not too complicated, but it's kind of frustrating if you get certain things wrong and then everything misaligns kind of. But we will get it done. It's not too difficult. After Hakase, you just unlock the second row of combos, which are your buff combos. And Jinpu, the left one that will unlock Gecko, will give you the 10% or 15%, I'm not sure. But it will grant you a damage boost to your overall damage. But first of all, which is more important than this damage boost, is the one from Shifu, which will grant you speed. Just raw speed, and of course, like it is always, I hope so at least, as you're having a higher or a lower skill speed value, the more speed increase you get, the more you profit from a low skill speed, because you have a bigger number that is being decreased by that percentage value, and being decreased in speed terms means that you're hitting faster, or you're having a better boost from that speed boost than you're having with lower numbers. I'm not completely sure if that is calculated in that way in Final Fantasy, but I guess it has to be. That makes sense at least. Okay, so this will help you getting done the fight starting and the starting point of the rotation, and then you will directly start into Kasha. Let's see if that is working out, what we're doing. And everything here is not buffed by any potion or something, because this is actually your buff window, but you're also using this to get this sand coin, right, or red sand coin here. And right after the next Hakase, which you always rotate between those combos to unlock your sand coins. This is the base mechanic and the base rotation of the samurai, always rotating between these combos to unlock sand coins, and yeah, then use those sand coins to start these heavy big swings and Midare and all that stuff. But yeah, the next thing, if you can afford, just after Hakase, throw in a potion, because now things are getting more hectical and you don't have any space left after that and want to line up. This perfectly lines up with all your attacks that are coming up in the time of that potion duration. Yeah, the next thing, and now comes the trick. This is really, you can kind of call it a trick. You're using Jinpu, but you're not using Gecko afterwards. That is doable or made possible by just using Hisatsu Kaiten right now for buffing your next Midare or Yajutsu, Leijutsu. I'm sorry, I can't I can't pronounce that properly. But these spells are depending on how many sand coins you have. If you have one sand coin, you're using a dot that is very, very powerful, and you want to apply that as early as possible, of course. And this is exactly what we're doing right now. If you're having 2 sand coins, you're doing an AoE attack, and if you're having 3 sand coins, you have the mighty Midare, which you should always try to combine with Tsubame Geshi when Tsubame Geshi is ready. But yeah, right here comes another trick, because yeah, you're using this Higanbana. I think it's Higanbana, yeah. Higanbana, this is the spell called with 1 sand coin, and this is your dot. And you're always using these Midare skills buffed by Hisatsu Kaiten. That is really important. Never use Hisatsu Kaiten for anything else than your Midare abilities. That is really the key of dealing good damage or good amounts of damage as samurai. Yeah, you're just doing that, and in that spot of casting it, as you can see, you're having a cast time, but like with some spells of the Black Mage, the cast time is shorter than the recast timer, so you have a short time to actually throw in an OGCD here, and this is really important for getting stuff done, and yeah, throwing in OGCDs before, yeah, you wasting their potential, wasting the time to do that. And in this case, as we're kind of talking about the perfect buff window lineup in this window here, or in this spot of the fight, yeah, you want to directly use Hisatsu Sine afterwards. So in that spot where you have time for that buffing window. Of course, we also weaved in or attacked with Gecko afterwards, because we unlocked that earlier by using Jinpu to buff ourselves or buff the next Higanbana, which is really important, that you're not having these dots or the Midare skills, that you don't have them running without being buffed by your Jinpu. That's really important, so always make sure that this is secured in your rotation. Right after that, we're just starting into grinding out our next sand coins for getting them into, or for pushing out Midare right into that perfectly rate synergied, rate buffed attack window. The reason here, or with the help of our little tool that is called Meikyo Shisui, I think, yeah, that's the correct term, I hope so. This will allow you to use whatever combo you're about to use, and this means this will directly unlock Kasha, Gecko, and Yukikase. But there is one certain thing that you have to note here. Yukikase is always the weakest of them, because or at least for using that with Meikyo Shisui, because you only need Hakase as a prerequisite to use Yukikase. So you are actually hopping over a whole skill in that combo when you use it with Gecko or Kasha. So the best value by using or for using Meikyo Shisui is by using these Sen attacks that have a combo or 2 combo prerequisites, Hakase and Shifu or Jinpu. But in this case, as we want to directly start into Midara as soon as possible, we use this Hakase, Yukikase once. So otherwise try to always spend those coins for using Kasha or Gecko, and you do that by using it 3 times by just opening up space using Yukikase first, then using Kasha and Gecko with Meikyo Shisui, using your Midara skill, and after that Midara skill you still have that Meikyo Shisui proc and can use it for Gecko or Kasha. You will see that we still have 1 Meikyo Shisui proc while having the full Sen coins ready to strike in with our next Midara. And of course, make sure that you hit the positionals properly to line up that Kanki gauge, because right now it's really important. We're really trying to optimize this window, this buff window, and we're using every single Kanki here. So make use of True North if you're not very certain about the positioning of your tank, and yeah, that will definitely help you with that opener. So now the next thing we're doing is we're just using Hisatsu Kaiten. Like I said, always use this with Midara skills or with Lei Jutsu skills. That's really important. Never use this at any other spot or for any other weapon skill. And in our case, we have Midara coming up next, and this will devastate our enemy right now because we're combining this with Tsubame Geshi, as you can see. Tsubame Geshi will not only double this attack, but it will also increase the damage potential of this. So you will have some very, very big crits sometimes. That's, yeah, very, very satisfying seeing these amazing Tsubame Geshi crits on your screen. Yeah, we're talking about 150k or something like that. Or even more if you're having proper gear or a dancer buffed made with your... That's awesome. I think you can actually reach 200k or something like that. But yeah, back to that opener, as we have used some Midara skills, three exactly, which is also indicated by these little 3 icons here. They're very small here, but at least they're here. They have implemented that in a patch. So yeah, look at those. That will allow us to use Shoha, which is another OGCD that you can use in between your weapon skills. Yeah, you don't have any problems and issues as Samurai using OGCDs in between weapon skills because you're rotating between so many weapon skills. Just make sure that you're not... Yeah, that you don't need to use many weapon skills when something like Shoha comes up, or yeah, when you're really overflowing with Kanki and you have to spam them. So it's always key to prepare those timings and to always spend the Kanki energy that you want, and that you don't overstack on that or overcap the Kanki energy. And of course, if you're running into Hisatsu Sine being ready next up in 5 or 6 seconds, you should definitely prepare some Kanki energy, or if you're having Ikishoten ready, then it's the perfect lineup there. But yeah, make sure that you're always using Ikishoten to get this Kanki, free Kanki energy, and to use it properly with your Midara and Higanbana. But yeah, if that is not the case, and this will directly lead us to the next part, like I said, Meikyo Shisui is still there, so we can use Gecko or Kasha, whatever you prefer here. Don't use it for Yukikase now, because like I said, using Meikyo Shisui procs for Gecko or Kasha is definitely more worth, yeah, the proc, or worth the skill. Yeah, reapply your buffs, don't forget about that. Use the combo finisher from the proper side, from the position that it's offering or that it's requiring. Yeah, use another Yukikase, and as you can see, right in that potion duration, we are using the last Midara here. And of course, maybe, yeah, this Hakase is also in that window. So you can see the spells, the skill speed we have here at our disposal. It's not too important or not any useful because Hakase is one of the weakest attacks you have. So if that is being buffed, it doesn't matter too much. You can also, yeah, not have this buffed and avoid using so much skill speed in this case, and yeah, just have more raw power by going for crit and direct hits. But yeah, it's really no problem because yeah, you can see with high skill speed values you have this Hakase being in the pot duration. Yeah, that's also a good thing. So all these optimizing and fine-tuning things are actually not too important. Always remember that you can push out very high DPS even if you're not having an optimized secondary stat value and all that. But yeah, next up, we're just about to rotate our rotation by keeping up buffs, getting our Sen coins, and there will be one certain thing that is kinda a trick, because you can see it right now. I'm using Hagakure, which is actually not recommended to use it at all, but there is one certain circumstance and reason we are doing that, because at some point you will not have a perfect lineup between your finisher, your combo finishers, and your Tsubame Geshi, so that you either have Tsubame Geshi up when you're not having gathered these Sen coins for your next Midara, or the other case would be that, yeah, you always have, or you already have these Sen coins ready and you want to use them, but Tsubame Geshi is kinda on 8-9 second cooldown. And even if you're using your combos or your attacks that generate the next combo attack on your sequence, then you could use Midara and you could delay Midara by doing that, but sometimes you could run into one of your finishers, and before overriding your Sen coins, then you definitely, yeah, should go another way, and the perfect thing to do that is to just use Hagakure once after you're doing this whole combo sequence, and this will allow you to run into that common loop that people are describing at the samurai rotation. So yeah, just use one of your Sen points or Sen coins that you gathered or accumulated after your big burst, sequence, to use that with Hagakure, not because it's really worth it, but it's just trying to line up your rotation at that point. Yeah, after that, try to just keep your buffs line up, keep your buffs stacked and don't lose them, don't let them fall off. Use your Kasha and Gekko Yukikase, and always try to reapply your Higanbana when about 6 seconds are remaining, or of course if you have the possibility to time it perfectly when it's running around 2 seconds and you're about to just smash in your Hisatsu Kaiten and then followed by Higanbana. That is of course the perfect spot here, but most of the times it won't line up that perfectly, so try to just do whatever you can, and of course use Hisatsu Shinten for any sort of overcapping or very high Kanki values at this spot. This will really help with your rotation. And yeah, try to line up your second Meikyo Shisui with your Tsubame Geshi in the way that I'm doing right now, just using these Sen coins properly. And before going into this right now, because now we would have a very problem, we just used one of our normal skills that don't override Sen coins in the form of Hakase right now. So use this and then smash in Midara, followed by Tsubame Geshi. So yeah, that's actually it. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for your support, and see you around in another video. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep loving Final Fantasy.